Coming to you from the second floor of the Norris University Center, this is the Daily Northwestern's Women's Basketball Roundtable with beat writer Robbie Levin and editors Danny Daly and myself, Brian Chapata. The women's team comes off a great week, especially compared to the men, notching two close victories at home against Indiana and Iowa. Robbie, talk about just the importance of these wins for the team heading down the final stretch of the season.
They're very big for the team. I think for several reasons. They'd lost to both these teams on the road the first time they played them, so it was big to get that win. And also, they've been protecting their home court very well this season, which, as Joe McEwen told us the other day, is important for great teams. So, in taking that next step, one of the things they have to do is they have to win at home. And they've been doing that. They're, I think, 4-1 in their last 5 home games, and they didn't even win 4 Big Ten games last year. So, I think it's a really big step forward to win both of these games.
Right, and now, even if they were to lose every other game they play this year, they're guaranteed a winning record, which is, seeing where they were even a year ago is a huge step forward for them. I mean, it seems like every time they beat an opponent, we find out last time they beat Iowa was 2000, last time they beat Purdue was 1999, last time they beat Indiana was 2004. As the coach said after I think it was the Indiana game, it's like Ghostbusters around here, But this program has just been down for so long. It didn't win more than 3 Big Ten games all last decade, So to be at this point and to have some, these players who are playing well together. Kendall Hackney's coming into her own. Beth Marshall just got named Big Ten Player of the Week. She's hitting everything right now. It's nice to see.
These last 2 games are going to be the last of the regular season for the team. They are going to Columbus to face Ohio State and then coming home for a rivalry matchup against Illinois. Danny, what are you expecting from these last 2 games?
Well, I think they're going to put up a better fight at Ohio State than they did in Evanston, and at least you'd hope that at this point the team is at a point where it's not getting totally blown out and doing like that it can hang around a little bit. And they've been getting the ball inside to Amy Jeske really well lately. So I'd expect them to be able to do that as well against Ohio State. And not that it's going to be easy, as Coach McEwen said. Ohio State can really play any way. They've got inside, they've got outside. But I'd expect a competitive one in that. And then, honestly, a win against Illinois wouldn't surprise me either. I know just about everything that could have gone wrong did in Champaign. But as we've seen, they've been making these adjustments in between games well the second time they faced them at home. So I think they'll get a split.
Yeah, I agree. I think, obviously, Ohio State's tough. Ohio State is the best team in the conference. But I was under the impression, at least earlier in the season, that Ohio State was kind of invincible. But they've lost a couple Big Ten games. So I think Northwestern can certainly put up a fight. And I think it'll be closer than it was last time when Ohio State won by whatever it was, like 20.
40 in the second half or something.
Yeah, something like that. I think it'll be close. But I certainly think Illinois, last time the two teams played, Illinois center, Jenna Smith, basically beat Northwestern single-handedly with 30 points in the first half or something like that. So I think they'll really be able to put up a good fight, plus it'll be senior day, capping off the best season in the past decade. So I think there'll be a lot of emotions riding on that game, and I think they'll be able to pull out a victory.
And then looking down a little bit further down the road ahead, what do you think about the Big Ten tournament?
I mean, the way it stands now, I think they're looking to be in the higher seed in whatever game they end up playing in one of those Thursday games, which would be pretty incredible. And it wouldn't surprise me to see them get a win in the tournament, especially because they've been beating a lot of these teams that they might end up facing. I think Iowa might end up getting a bye, but Indiana, they've already beaten Minnesota, teams like that. They're going to face Illinois, who's another team that they might be an opponent in one of those first-round games. And the fact that they expanded the field for the WNIT this year means that they're looking good in terms of qualifying for that, too.
Yeah, and I think just in terms of how the Big Ten tournament is run with the top 5 or 6 teams getting byes, they are looking like they'll have a favorable matchup in the first round, and then after that, I think they beat Wisconsin on the road, and I think Ohio State is obviously the premier team in the Big Ten, but I think they can put up a fight against most of these top tier teams in the Big Ten, so that'll definitely be interesting. And then going their first postseason appearance in since 97, 98. That'll also be a good way to cap off this season.
Well, we'll see if they're able to carry some momentum out of this week into that tournament. That's all for this edition of the Basketball Roundtable. For comprehensive recap and analysis, check out dailynorthwestern.com.